Hi everyone, so today we're going to learn how to make a painting effect on Photoshop. So we're going to open our file and we're going to drag in our picture that we want to create into a painting. Now we're going to go ahead and duplicate our layers so we can keep our original picture in case we need to go back. Now we're going to go ahead and press on our Art History brush tool. And then when we do that, we're going to go to our History tab and make sure we have the duplicate layer selected. And when you do that, we're just going to go ahead and click on our screen and press OK so that we can start painting on this layer. Now we're going to pick a brush that we want to paint with. I went ahead and downloaded some brushes that you can always find some free brushes or specific brushes or even make custom brushes to paint. We're going to start painting over our picture however we see fit. I started painting with a small brush, but you'll see here that I ended up not liking it, so I'm going to undo it and we're going to use a bigger brush. Now that I have a bigger brush, I'm just going to go ahead and start painting my sky. When you're painting over your subject, don't be afraid to go over some extra stuff because we can always go back and fix that after. Now that we finished the sky, we're going to go ahead and zoom into our boat so we can go ahead and start painting that. We can either use the same brush or change brushes and just make it a smaller size. Now we're just going to keep painting over that until we like the results. Now with the same brush, I'm just going to make it a bigger size and I'm going to go ahead and start painting the hills in the background. And like I said before, don't be afraid to go over other stuff because we can always just fix it with details later. Now we're just going to zoom out and make sure we like everything and go over anything we don't. If you're liking the results, now we're going to go ahead and just duplicate the layer to make sure we can continue without anything we don't like. This way we can go back to our previous state without having to undo everything. Now we're just going to be picking a new brush and make sure you go to the History tab and select the layer we just duplicated so that we can continue painting our photograph. Don't forget to be alternating your brush sizes so that way in the end we can make it look like a real painting. Now when we're happy with our results, we're going to go ahead and start adding our paint textures. Now I'm just going to drag in the picture of my texture and I'm just going to transform it to my liking. Now that I have it as I like it, I'm just going to go ahead and rename it. And after we rename it, we're going to go to the Filters tab and we're going to press on Stylize and then we'll click on Emboss. That's going to open up this window and you're going to have our angle set to 145, the height to 2, and the amount to 120%. And just click OK. That'll apply the filter to your layer. Now we're going to go ahead and change it to Overlay so that it'll mix with our painting underneath. Here you're going to see that the texture got added to your painting, and we can continue to add more textures like I will in just a moment, or we can leave it to whatever texture we first chose. But the more textures you add, the more painting it will look like. So I'm going to go ahead and just repeat the previous steps with a different texture. I'm just going to transform it and set it how I like it. And like before, we're going to go to Filters and choose Stylize, and then on Emboss, and we'll have the same number set. Another way is to just go ahead and drag the filter, or in other words, duplicate the filter onto our current layer. And when you have the filter set, you're just going to go ahead and change it to overlay once again. Now you can take a look at how the texture affected your painting. And if you don't like it, don't worry, we can either change the texture or we can go ahead and transform our texture into our liking. I'm going to go ahead and transform the texture a couple times before I like it and actually start to see the texture coming through. Now that I like the way it's looking, I'm going to go ahead and bring in one more texture. And repeat the previous steps, and then I'm done. You can recreate this effect with a variety of images and any brushes you choose. Just have fun with it.